and 6 others are dead. Our family has a message for every parent out there. You don't think it'll happen to your child until it does. Chris was a really great kid. Ask anyone who knew him. His death has left our family lost and broken.
All right, that's Richard Martinez, who lost his son, Christopher Martinez, in the rampage by Elliot Rodgers in Santa Barbara. Joining us now is Gloria Allred, a civil rights attorney. Hello, Gloria.
Steve.
Good to talk to you again. All right, so I was taken by some of your comments, as I was by Richard Martinez's comments. I mean, grieving father, you got to watch what you say. I just think that he's given several interviews after that press conference where he's blamed Republicans and the NRA for his son's death, which I think is a little, far-fetched. But you talk about that, and correct me if I'm misinterpreting you, that Elliot Rodgers somehow was a male chauvinist, and that's one of the reasons he did what he did. Explain this to me.
Well, absolutely. It's clear from his lengthy manifesto and from his video that he suffered from male chauvinism, which is a certifiable mental illness. And that is a situation where he views women as sexual objects, as inferior human beings, as people that he's entitled to. And he can't understand why he can't have a relationship with them. And then he, of course, feels very rejected and kills not only random women, sorority sisters standing outside a sorority house here in Southern California, but also men, because he's angry at some of the college men that they're able to get women that he can't get. Now, this view, this gender stereotyping of women, that somehow he's upset because he can't have a relationship with them and he blames them instead of taking responsibility himself, I think is a sign that he suffers from male chauvinism. And that definitely is dangerous to not only women's health, but to men's health, as we've seen from the killings that he did.
I don't understand. I mean, maybe I'm just not up on my American Psychiatric Association handbook, and I'm sure you're correct if you say they classify it as a mental disorder. Of male chauvinism, when I was growing up, and from what the last time I ever heard that used, referred to men who were kind of sexist. I didn't know it involved, wanting to kill women. I thought that's a whole nother. I thought that's a whole nother realm, and that's a psychosis. This guy was a man capable of killing people in cold blood. They called the stabbing scene one of the most brutal crime scenes they've ever seen. The police chief of Santa Barbara. I mean, when you say male chauvinism, it kind of diminishes it to me, and kind of makes it into this almost this feminist cry. I don't get it really.
Well, if you look at the profile of many batterers, and I've dealt with a lot of victims of domestic violence over the years, you look at a profile, for example, of an O.J. Simpson, who was not only a batterer, but a killer, according to a civil jury. You find that these batterers have this view of women that is very stereotypical. They don't treat them as equal partners. They want to control them. They want to have power over them. And ultimately, because they have no control over their own feelings, they want to control someone outside of themselves. That's usually a woman. And people get hurt. People, because she left him, she didn't have any more to do with him, killed by O.J. Simpson. But then you also had Ron Goldman killed by him. And we're approaching the 20th anniversary of those horrific murders. And, he was basically caught in, he was an innocent witness to what happened. And now you have these horrific killings in Santa Barbara, where he was upset with the woman. Rodgers said he was going to get retribution against them because he couldn't have any kind of relationship with them. He didn't know how to be with women. He viewed them as objects to which he was entitled. He viewed them as.
Well, wait,
You know,
I just want to clear this up. I know I did not read the manifesto, so again, and I'm sure if you're trying to make him into a victim or again bring this down to a feminist issue of sorts to try to indict as many men as possible here. I don't understand. I mean, are you because he didn't have women, from what I understand. He couldn't get dates. I mean, and yet you say he couldn't get dates because he wanted to control women, and it's because he wanted to control women that he wound up shooting them. I just see this as a sick individual who's not what many would consider a male chauvinist to be, and O.J. Simpson was again found guilty of civil murder in a civil court, a sick broad brush, and tell us that many men are capable of this because they are capable of this because they are chauvinists. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I've never said that Elliot Rodgers, who killed so many people and injured so many others in Santa Barbara, was a victim. What I said is, clearly to me, he was a male chauvinist. That's a mental health issue. He was in therapy for many, many years. I don't know whether he had feminists.
But not for male chauvinism. Not for male chauvinism. I never heard of anybody treated for male chauvinism. Have you?
Well, the good news is that male chauvinism can be cured. It can be treated. Whether therapists are in fact treating people for therapy, we just know he had therapy. And what he was being told or what he disclosed to his therapist, we don't know. But I'm saying.
Well, then how do you know that he wanted to control? But then how do you know, Gloria? You're making these accusations. He wasn't treated for male chauvinism, as far as you know or I know. You don't know what he was treated for in therapy, yet you know he was a male chauvinist, and you say he couldn't get women because he wanted to control them. Did these women know that? Did he make statements to that effect to these women? How do you know why he couldn't get women? I'm just curious.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you look at his lengthy manifesto, if you look at his video, very, very upset and angry that he's not able to get women, particularly blonde, angry that he's not able to get women, particularly blonde women, which is another stereotype, that he's very angry that other college men are able to have dates.
Okay, but how does that? Look, and again, I'm not defending the guy. To me, he's a man who needed a lot of help. He got some. The warnings weren't all heeded, and he's got. I don't know if he's psychotic, psychosis, whatever the heck he had. But I wouldn't say, oh yeah, he was a male chauvinist, and assume the reason he couldn't get a date, which might have led to all this psychotic behavior and murderous behavior, it was because radical feminist, in my opinion. Cuckoo theory. With all due respect to you. Cuckoo theory. With all due respect to you.
If you look at what he said, you will see that he has a great deal of anger that he freely expresses against women. I would call it
because he's rejected. Because he's rejected. Now again, I'm not defending it, but he was rejected. I don't think murder is the normal outcome for men who are rejected by women. They're either awkward or they're for a million reasons. Men then don't go and kill, as a rule, anybody, women and men, because of it. But there are a lot of reasons for being rejected. But you're assuming, I assume, because I haven't heard a direct piece of evidence, that he wanted to dominate women. He's a male chauvinist. That's why he couldn't get them. I don't know where this is coming from, except assumption.
Well, the fact that he is saying that he is constantly being rejected by women for dates and relationships, and he is angry because they are rejecting him, and because he is blaming the women and also who are rejecting him in his view, and also
and the men.
Blaming men because they're able to have the relationship shows you there's something deeply wrong with his mental health, and the fact that he doesn't know.
Right. But to call it male chauvinism, to me, diminishes all that.
Well, that's because maybe you don't understand how serious male chauvinism is. The fact that he doesn't know how to have a relationship with a woman. Having a relationship with a woman means being able to listen to them, which is what a lot of women want. Not talking
all right.
at
Gloria,
them.
I always love when you come on. But we don't know that he didn't listen to women. Again, I'm not defending the guy. I'm just trying to find out how male chauvinism plays into this, and I will look in the American Psychiatric Guide and see what their definition is. And I thank you for coming on as always. Always glad to have you, Gloria Allred, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back. Thank you with Gimme 5. Don't go away.